G'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got another video on the Rapsodo MLM2 Pro with E6, and I want to talk about binding and unbinding launch monitors. If you're like me and you had the Garmin R10, you got a free trial for E6. You got 5 free courses, the practice facilities, everything I've said in previous videos. And now with the MLM2 Pro, you have the 5 free courses and the practice facilities. How do we get the launch monitors binded to E6? So for me personally, I decided to set up a completely different account, a completely different E6 account for my 2 different launch monitors. I didn't want to have them on the same account. And the reason for that is because if I ever sell the Garmin or if I ever sell the Rapsodo, I didn't want to have any issues where I'd have to hand over email addresses or contact E6 to get a license transferred to someone else. So I created email addresses using Gmail for each device, for each license. So what I'm going to talk through today is how I did that. And then I'm also going to show you how to bind and unbind these devices. So what I'll do first is I'll connect my MLM2 Pro and then I'll talk about how you bind and unbind with E6 when I've got the app open. Okay, I am connected now, so I'm going to go Simulation, Third-Party Apps, Connect E6. Yes, I want to connect it. Connection successful. Now I'm going to jump into the E6 app. Okay, I have E6 open. My MLM Pro is connected. And what you'll notice is I have access to the practice facilities now. The reason I figured this out was because I was actually talking to David Maxwell. He was asking a question about binding and unbinding simulators on Facebook, and I just said, hey, give me a call and we can talk about it. As we were talking about it, I unbinded my MLM2 Pro to connect up my R10 again to see if I still had access to the license. I did have access to the license and I could play with my R10. Then when I unbound my R10 again, and binded my Rapsodo back up, for whatever reason, it gave me access to the practice facilities. So I do have access to the practice facilities now with my MLM2 Pro. So I'm going to jump in and show you those real quick. You've got driving range, and in the driving range, you have access to different driving ranges, and then you have access to the chip and putt. And of course, in the chip and putt, you have access to a bunch of different shots. I will show these in a separate video, but I just wanted to show you that I do have access to those facilities now. So let's talk about unbinding and binding of simulators, of launch monitors. So if you jump into settings, as you can see now, I have my MLM2 Pro bound to E6. If I go into simulator, the tracking system I have says Rapsodo MLM2 Pro. I can go in and configure that, and I have handedness, the mode if you want net or range, and then the Rapsodo ball, range ball, or premium ball. So all that information is there. Now if I go back and I go to info and help, this is where you get your simulator binding and unbinding. If I unbind this Rapsodo MLM2 Pro, it's a scary word, but all you're doing is logging out of your account, I guess is a way of putting it. So I have a login for my Rapsodo MLM2 Pro. I created a new email for that, and that's completely separate to my Garmin R10 account for E6. So if I unbind my launch monitor, which I'm going to do now, it's going to pop up with this screen, which says activate or log in. So all I'm going to do is just push login. I'm going to enter my email for my Garmin R10 now. So I've done that there, and now I'm going to enter my password. And once I've done that, it's going to load, and it's going to pop up with my mobile license. It's going to say, activation binds the license to the system, and you can manage it using the E6 portal. If you look down below, it says the expires never. So it says license available. It saved your license that was tied to that email address, I guess. And now I can go in and bind my license. So I'll push activate. And now in the tracking system, I have my Garmin, and it's going to say Garmin device not found. I don't have my Garmin device on, so therefore it hasn't found it. But that is how you bind your Garmin license and get your account back. You're not going to lose your membership. As long as you remember your email and password, you're not going to lose your 5 free courses. So let's go in, and I'm going to go and unbind this device now. So I'm going to bind my MLM2 Pro back up. So I'm going to go simulator binding, unbind my Garmin. And then I'm going to log in with my Rapsodo email. And when I do that, again, it's going to load. It's found my mobile license and it's saying expires never. And all I have to do is push activate. And then it brings up my tracking system as my Rapsodo MLM2 Pro. I can go into configure. It's got the ball, the Rapsodo ball, net, right-handed, everything. And the best thing is, it looks like it's just connected up for me. So that is how you bind and unbind devices. That's the way I did it. Potentially there is a way where you can use the same email address and have multiple devices in that tracking system window there. But for me personally, I just wanted to keep them separate, because if I ever want to sell one of these devices, I can just hand off that email address and log in for E6 to the next person that buys this device. All right, guys, hope that helps. Hope that clears things up. If you like that, let me know. If you got any comments or questions, leave them down below and I will catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.